What is up, levelers? It's your boy Chris. You tuned in to a special morning edition of High Level Chronicles. You know what time it is? It's time to wake and bake. Whether you're rolling up, loading the bowl, hitting that dab pen, munching on some edibles already, let's kick this morning off right. And of course, as always, the co-host with the most, Paul. What's good, bro?
Hey, just restocked some goodies. Feeling real good with with like some knee stuff, but able to be out enjoying the great weather we have it out. So, just
Yeah,
been
finally
been able to work
spring.
out finally, feeling a little bit better, getting those endorphins flowing.
Wait, so you're saying working out and endorphins, so not like the last episode where we were just being lazy. Yeah. Okay.
Total 180.
Right on. Today's episode is all about that early morning sesh, that perfect strain to start the day. Of course, what games or shows hit just right when you're floating through that first high of the day. But before we dive into everything, you know what time it is. It's time for Leveled Up. Paul, I say we start with the levelers this week. What about you? What do you think? You want to start with the
Let's
levelers?
do it. Yeah.
Fuck it. Start with the levelers. Let's see. I know we got a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. We have Jess C. She says she starts every morning with a sativa heavy bong rip and a walk with her dog while listening to High Level Chronicles. And now that's how you set the tone for the day. Certainly hope that's true, coming out. Just keep coming out with more content.
I like it.
And then we have at I'm a Mutt 03 says, I have been smoking this sweet tasting strain called Pikachu Powder. My. And let me. What's that?
I'm still trying to understand that name.
Pikachu Powder.
No, the person's name.
I'm
a mutt.
A mutt. I guess maybe
What
they have a lot of different nationalities, ethnicities in their background.
Okay. Oh, it's a song. I wonder if it has to do with that song. You heard the song, right?
I have not heard the song.
Oh, bullshit. Come on. It's on everything. It's like, I don't like the song because I'm not into that sort of, but it's all over, like all the TikTok trends, all the everything. I wonder if that's what it has to do with.
Well,
sorry, I'm not trying to hijack this segment. The name, look, it's waking me. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just now getting good. So the name just hit me and I'm like, I'm a mutt. Like what kind of name is I'm a mutt? We've had some crazy names, and that's not even a crazy name. It's just a weird.
I really enjoy the name. We go from Jesse. I know a Jesse. Maybe this is a girl I know, but and then I'm a Mutt 03. I assume they were born in 2003. That's a very young person then. That's like a 20-year-old.
22.
22. Shit, whatever.
Old enough to drink, old enough to smoke. Good job.
Time is fucking.
It is, yeah.
Fucking crazy. Anyway, so they're still having a sweet tasting strain called Pikachu Powder. And they say it definitely gets the mind right while diving deep into the new Assassin's Creed shadows. I feel like I'm right there creeping in the shadows of the dark Japan days.
I've heard very mixed reviews about that game already.
I feel like we've had multiple people talk about it, and it's on my list. I'm still kind of going backwards in this series.
Have we had multiple people? Because,
I know we had Valhalla at one point.
I think we just get a lot of Assassin's Creed in general because a lot of people play Assassin's Creed, but this one is the one.
Isn't this the new one?
This just came out within the last month or two. So,
yeah.
Either way,
I'm behind on a lot of Assassin's Creed. I started at 4. I did Rogue, and then now I'm on 3, which is the American Revolution, which is a lot of fun. But I need to look at the new
Assassin's Creed fan, but I'm not like dedicated. I'll play them, and I've played random ones, but I've never played every single one of them. You know what I mean? Like I've played a few here and there. Great games, fun times. It's just other things take my priority. And that's the problem with games, man. There's just too many fucking games.
Yeah. That series, though, as like an entire work of art is
amazing.
Very good. Just the storytelling, the gameplay,
it's not like I don't follow
stuff to do with history.
I just don't play it all.
Yeah.
You know how much time that would take to play through all these games that we talk about? Jesus Christ.
I know. Yeah, we got stuff to do, but I definitely want to.
Some of us have to work.
That. And then we have one more. Tiger Lily, pardon me. It says, I have been dabbing on some watermelon diamonds. I love these straight names. It's like a mood boost in a joint, and I have been playing Persona 5 Reload. I'm not familiar with that. That game just hits different when you're high. The music, the colors, and the turn-based combat. Oh, it's a turn-based combat game. Okay, it's a whole vibe.
I am almost positive Tiger Lily was high when writing that. And let me tell you why. Reread that very first part.
I have been dabbing on some watermelon diamonds. It's a mood boost and a joint.
You dabbing and a joint? Okay.
Hey, you know what?
Coffee and a joint,
Why not?
coffee and a joint. Well, sounds like the levelers have had a good time this week or
Yeah,
last
absolutely.
week, whatever they did. I don't ever know when these times are. I just know that at some point in time, you all sent it in and here you are. You're here.
Yeah, I've
Either way. Yeah. What you got? You said you picked up some new stuff? What you got?
yeah. So I've been smoking on these pre-rolled just apple fritters, and the taste is pretty good. Comes down, it's like a pretty mellow, like a head high. You don't really feel it in your body. So definitely, getting into things with that. And I think I talked about this last week, but I finished the series now. At least I think as far as it's going to go. Pantheon on Netflix.
That's the anime, right?
It's anime. It is fuck. It's devastating, devastatingly beautiful. Great story. The ending's a little. It's a lot, but I highly recommend it. And that I think I lit one of those up and just kind of got lost in it for a few hours one day. And then I don't know if you want to talk about Split Fiction. I know that's what we've been getting into recently for gaming, but I'm just trying to close out Elden Ring. It's been a ride. I'm getting to a point where I'm feeling really confident, which I know is whenever you feel that way, it's like, oh no, you're so wrong.
You about to
I've been
get dealt
wrong. I
with.
felt that way and been wrong many, many times about that game. But I'm looking forward to just doing all there is to do and then wrapping it up. But apparently,
I don't
I'm
know if
still
that's
a
going to
long way
happen.
away.
You have
Well,
a
yeah, and
long
then
way to
there's
go.
Shadow of the Earth Tree and the other
Might
ones
Rain be
come
coming
out.
out here soon,
Yeah,
but
so
that's different. That's a whole standalone co-op, though.
right.
But
Yeah,
maybe you're just getting prepared for that. You're getting your battles back in, getting ready
yeah.
for the fighting mechanics.
Oh, yeah,
But yeah, man. I mean,
I'm in mid season
we
form
can
with
we can
that.
talk a little bit of split fiction. I don't mind, so I think so let me preface this with Paul and I have decided over the last couple weeks that we are going to play Split Fiction and do an episode of just a review on it, talking about it. So right now we're only, I don't know, a couple hours in.
Yeah,
So we're really just starting because from what I understand, it's 12 to 14 hours to finish the base game. But I'll tell you what, and this is how you can tell if I like this game or not, is while I'm playing this game, I already am thinking like, I want to run it back again, but I want to run the other character. I want to run Zoe.
yeah,
You know what I mean? To feel like that, like, so that tells you it's a good game. Like, I have no idea what you're doing half the time. Like, I don't, because we each have our own task. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah,
we're each doing stuff and we have to work together. And I'm liking it so far, man. I'm really enjoying the game. I didn't know how I would feel about it at first, and not trying to be sexist or anything, but just when you think about a game where you're playing two female lead characters and
yeah.
young teenagers at that, I'd assume, I would assume they're teens, early 20s, is whatever, maybe a little older. They're young, but grown ass men play. At first I was like, I don't know, this may be a little weird, but let me say so. It's fun, bro. We played as pigs one round. Like the
Yeah,
pig, that was fun as hell. That
yep.
gorilla, it was like some big old blue gorilla one time. I think it's fun. I like it. There's no instructions. Like you really have to figure it out. I don't think it's a game that people thought it was going to be that I've heard so far, because a lot of people thought it was going to be like, well, I'm going to get my significant other or my whoever into the gaming with this game. Well, I don't think this game's made for somebody just starting out. You really have to know a little bit about gaming to be able to play this game.
Video
You know
game
what I mean?
IQ. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like you have to know a little bit about it because it doesn't tell you anything. Like the best you get is an icon to hit something, but that is just one small piece of everything else you got to do. So I don't know. It's fun. I like the Tron chapter. Like that's the way I looked at it. I don't know what it's called, but that's as far as we are right now. Really, I think we just finished the Tron. I'm gonna call it the Tron chapter with
The
bikes and
Tron,
everything.
the Cyber Ninjas.
Yeah, whatever it is. and now we're in Zoe's fantasy land where we can shapeshift, and that's where we stopped last. But I'm liking it. But from
Yeah,
what I
no,
understand, it sounds like what they say about the game. And like when you buy it on Steam, it tells you this game is best played with a controller, which I've been playing with the whole time. Paul, what do
I
you
have
think?
one. I
But what
don't
do you
know if
think? You've been using a mouse and keyboard, right?
so. I think, yeah, I think my dog had gotten at my mouse. There's a little mark on the right click. So when I do that, that was the button I was supposed to use. And I was looking, I was like, can I format the controls? And I can't, at least on a PC. So I do have a gaming controller for a computer, so I'll just be hooking that up next time.
But so I guess you can't really say then yet if you think it is smoother or easier to, to play on the controller like they say, or mouse and keyboard. But I know you have had a little bit of issues. Not trying to call you out, brother, but some of them driving segments, you said it was clunky with the mouse or with, with the keyboard. So
Yeah, certainly like learning the controls, and sometimes they're inverted.
yeah, don't even.
The
How
really
many times we died?
the panning is the hardest because I have to keep like going around on my mouse, and I'm sure you could just kind of like
Yeah, I
toggle that
just
with
flip it and it
your
just,
thumb,
yeah, it just
on the
moves right
controller.
around.
So
Yep.
that would be something I'll be doing next time. But yeah, it's you said 12 to 14 hours. We're like 3 hours in. That time goes by like when you're doing that and that game, and it's kind of like a different game depending on which character you're like assigned or
That's what I'm saying. Well, you get to pick which side. And like you could even
I guess
switch.
yeah.
Like when we continue our thing, it tells you to pick, you know, Zoe or me. Like we could pick each other if you wanted to swap back and forth. But I'm in the mode of I just want to, stick with it, finish it out, and then I'm gonna run back. We gotta run back and swap and do it again. I don't know. The game's fun right now. I don't know. I'm just having a good time with it. It's one of those good, fun games. And even if you die, like it's still tense. Like you don't want to die, but even if you die, who cares? Like you start right back where you were. You know what I mean? You don't have to keep going. It's not like Chained Together where you're with chained to somebody else, and if they fall or something, you start all the way back at the fucking bottom and have to go all in. Now with this, you're wrecking a car a million times. You just start back where you were.
Yeah. No lives, which I guess makes the difficulty like, oh, well, we'll just try it again, or we'll try it again, or try it again. Like, and so I kind of, it gives you that freedom without much of a penalty of like, hey, try doing this, getting across this bridge that way, try something
Mhm.
else. And then you get to figure it out on your own. And I don't think it's, we've ever gotten to a spot where we're more than 10 or 15 minutes just being like, fuck, what do we do from here?
No, there has been a
So
couple times we've been caught up. Like, what the fuck do we do? And we have to
a
look
little bit,
around and
yeah.
try to
We'll get into
figure.
a
But
new room. Yeah.
you definitely have to look around everywhere because there could be things up, down,
Yeah, that's just what I'm
under.
doing
I don't
now.
know.
Pink and green seem to be like the game colors. So anything kind of gives itself away.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So we'll be coming out with a review
So we've been
probably in
we've been
the
we've been
next
playing
episode
that.
or two.
Yeah, it's been fun. But on the side of that, I've been really I bought Undisputed, which is a boxing game on Steam, and I'm a boxer, so I figured I'd get it was on sale. It was during the spring Steam sale in March, early March. I bought it, man. I've already ran through one whole career as a fighter, and I'm on my second career now. I'm having a blast with that game. I just like punch people in the face. I guess that's
So
I've been.
is it similar to like Madden or MLB the Show where like you manage the franchise, or I guess in this case the fighter,
Well, so the
or
way
is
it
it
works is you start off as low level amateur boxer, right?
right?
And they put you in the way you start off the game. The career mode is, your manager or your coach says, I want to see what you got. So they throw you in an amateur boxing tournament and you got to fight, a few people. Yeah, I think it's like 4 people. And if you win it, which the first time I played, I didn't win. Second time I played, I won. Because I learned the mechanics better. You know what I mean?
Gotta
And
lower that difficulty.
no, not even the difficulty. It's the stamina, bro. I blow through my stamina like nothing because I'm always wanting to throw those fucking power shots. And that just blows to your stamina. Then you don't have any energy to even continue the fight. So you got to really watch it. But you go through that, and then you kind of mold your career as your fighter. Like you pick your fights. Your managers get you. You know, usually I think it's like 3 different options of fighters. If you don't like any of them, you can request to fight somebody else, but they have to be within your, close to your rank. And you go through. You're trying to win the belt. You're trying to be the undisputed champion. So you just work your way up through the ranks, from amateur to semi-pro, pro, and now I'm going for belts in 3 different weight classes on this run. That's what I'm gonna do on this one. I'm gonna be a light heavyweight champ, heavyweight champ, and the cruiserweight champ. I'm just
So,
happy I got to
do
beat
you
Jake
have to,
Paul's
like,
ass.
do stuff to, like, change those weights, or is it just like a
Well, it takes time in your career. Once you hit 50 years old, you have to retire. So every week your train or whatever takes away from your time. Every fight camp is 6 to 12 weeks, depending on what you and that other boxer agree to in your terms. So all that takes your time. So you got to really watch your time. If you become overweight, that takes out of time in your classes because you got to come back down to weight class. So you really have to watch what you're doing and pick and choose. And I don't know, it's pretty fun. It's like I said, the first time I didn't really know what I was doing. And once I won the belt the first time, I just all I did was keep fighting. You know what I mean? I just kept defending my belt. And I'm like, this is getting boring as hell. Then I realized you can change weight classes and a whole new set of fighters. So that takes 3 months away, though, right from the jump. So if you change your weight class, there's 3 months out of your time total gone because it took 3 months to go to that weight. So then you
oh, but
can
it does
fight.
it automatically, so it's just
Yeah.
all you're doing is
So then you have
sacrificing time?
So then you have a whole new list of fighters, belts to it, but I didn't learn that until like I maybe had a year or 2 left in my in my run. So I went to another weight class and only got the belt in that weight class, and then I had to retire. I got to defend it once, and it said the game just literally stopped. Though it said, "You've reached age 50. Your career has been high." I never lost, not once, but it was fun. Like I said, now I've kind of figured out a little bit more and run back through again. Like in it. What else did I get? I picked up something else too on that spring sale. It was just one of those dumb games, but I love it. Liar's Bar. Oh my god, dude! Have you played that? Liar's
Liar's
Bar
Bar? No.
and Ballarto. Bro, 2 games I never thought I'd ever be playing. I like Ballarto when we talked about that because it got game of the year. Remember? We were talking about it on our game of the year. And I'm like, that's not a game I'd be interested. I'm not into I'm not into poker at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like I play poker here and there once in a blue moon with, whatever in Vegas, whatever. But I'm not
Oh,
into
you
a
were telling me
game.
about it, yeah.
Dude, that game's so fucking addicting. I tell you, I don't whoever anybody, any of you all watching, if you don't have Ballarto, get it. I promise you'll have fun. Promise. Promise you'll have fun. And you'll next thing you know, 3 hours have gone by and you're like, fuck.
Because you were saying it's like poker, but it's saying it's a roguelike deck building game.
It's all poker hands. So if and it even tells you your so if you don't know poker, pair, 2 pair, 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, full house, straights, you know what I'm talking about? Flush.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You build those, but along the way, like you have to watch because you have to make a certain amount of money each blind to face the next opponent, which is nobody. It's just a computer. But you can pick up like power cards and things like planet cards that'll make like a pair maybe jump up a few levels. That way, maybe you get more points off a pair than you would a royal flush. You really have to pick and choose what like how you play your game. You know what I mean? Like you have to make, but the goal is to beat all the levels of each deck. So each deck that they offer, so they have different card decks in Ballarto. You start off with your basic deck, which is the red deck. And what that offers you is I think it's one extra discard. So that means like if you get a hand and like let's say there's 2 queens and 10, 2, 3, whatever, you want to discard the 2 and 3 and try for better cards. You can discard those and get some new ones before you play your hand. Well, that deck gives you an extra one every round, no matter what. Once you beat that deck, you go to the next deck. And then that one might be during this game, all cards or multipliers or all the points are half. So then you got to figure out a new way to beat that, figure out what's going to be the tactic to beat that level. It's just, it's crazy. It's so fun though. I didn't think I'd like it at all. It's really not a game that I ever would think I'd pick up. And now they released it on mobile as well. And I'm scared to get it on mobile because then I know I'd never put my phone down. I'm just going to leave it on the PC because,
Yeah, I might
you
have.
know,
I'm not sure if I missed it on the sale or not because it's selling for $14.99 right now on Steam.
yeah, I think I got it for, what was it? Let me look. Actually, how do I look?
And then there's
My account.
Bellarto plus Slay the Spire, Bellarto plus
Well,
Arco.
that's extra games. That's different. Like that's where they bundle those games together. Uh,
Unrelated.
no, not there's not. They don't
Maybe
have
the
any.
same developer or whatever.
There's no, there's no DLC. There's none of that shit for Bellarto. It's just the straight game. Once you buy it's it. It's just the game. How
You
much
can
should I
also
pay?
buy the soundtrack. It's got a cool
It does
soundtrack.
have some good sounds. Yeah.
Okay.
So Bellarto cost me the Liar's Bar. That's the other. It's fun as hell. That was $6 or $12.70. Oh, you know what I did? I bought all together. I bought the Classrooms, which is fun as hell. Etchy's Contract. I bought those all on the same as a bundle. So that was the fun game. But Bellarto, yeah, it was. I paid $14. That's what I paid. It was on sale for $12.99. So not much off,
Okay.
but either way, it's worth every penny. I'd pay $19.99 for it, not think twice about it. That game's fun. Bellarto, but Liar's Bar, now that one, that's a fun one too. If you just want to chill out, just, whatever. It's you get in a lobby and it's 4 people at a table, and it looks just like you're at a poker table in a bar, and each character, there's only jacks, queens, kings, aces, and 2 jokers. And there's only 6 of each card, right? So 6 aces, 6 kings, 6 of each, and then the 2 jokers. Every time the round starts, you each put your bullet into the revolver. We're going to talk some suicide stuff. So if you're into that, you don't get triggered.
Jesus
You put your
Christ.
bullet into the revolver, and then you get your card deck, right? And it's just random hand. You might have 2 aces, a jack, and a queen, whatever. You have 5 cards, whatever you make. Think of whatever could be mixed. Well, it pops up and tells you this is the table now. Is it an ace table, a king table, whatever it may be, whatever table it is? That's the cards you want to play. But if you don't have any, you have to literally lie and say you do. But if somebody calls you out on it, so I don't have. Let's say we're playing a king's
What
table
is
and I
that
have
type
all
of game
aces.
called? Yeah.
Russian roulette is basically what I don't know what the card game's called, but if you throw your cards down and the person next to you, because you never see the cards, they're all face down, right? You never see anybody's cards. But if they call you out and you said you had 2 kings and you really didn't, if they call you out and it's a lie, you lied, you have to pull the trigger on yourself.
Jesus Christ.
And if you make it through the round, you move on to the next round. It's fun as hell, though. The heads, you can move the heads around so you can bob your head and look at everybody. But here's the thing. If you call me a liar and it is 2 kings, then you got to pull the trigger on yourself. So do you
that's
take
like
the chance at calling somebody out? But here's the deal. If you all go around, the very last card that's played, if it was just me and you left and I throw my last cards down, it automatically makes you call a liar on any last card that I throw. So you want to also try to keep a card. So that way your last card, you force them to call a lie, but it's really the truth. It's fun as hell. It sounds great. It's just so simple, but it's fun as hell. And the chats are fun. Everybody talks. It's funny as hell because, like I said, you're animals. Like like you can be a dog, a pit. Like there's different animals, and you can bob your head. Your mouth moves while you're talking. Like it literally moves with the microphone. And then even after you kill yourself, you can press 1 and you come back to life and you can talk shit at the table. It's fun as hell. And like I said, it's a fun game. I never thought again. I just bought a bunch of shit that was on sale, spent like $40, and I figured I'll just refund whatever I don't like. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
only returned one. That was Repo. Everybody talked about Repo, and I don't like the fact I don't know anybody that plays it, so I returned it because you can't play it unless you're the online aspect. I thought when it said online, like I thought I'd be able to hop into a lobby and try to play people. You have to have somebody on your Steam list in a lobby. Like you have to create a lobby with people you know. You can't just join a random lobby. So I returned that bitch instantly.
seems like an odd option. Now, I was looking at, I didn't get too deep into the sale, but I did buy the digital edition of Blood Rage, which it's like a Viking era game where you build a deck. It's kind of just like you draft it, I guess. There's a bunch of cards come by, and some of them are power cards. Some of them you can upgrade your leader or your troops, or just sort of rage is like the currency.
Right.
So, and then you have like the world and quests to do in the world, different areas to pillage to get like more soldiers, more rage, more points. I think glory is the points, and so you're just like deploying troops, and you can get monsters of like Norse mythology, like a kraken, different types of giants, ice giant, fire giant, different trolls and stuff, dwarves. I don't know. There's a couple expansions out, but it's you can just play with I think like up to like 4 or 5 people. But then it gets really crazy because the map keeps disintegrating every age or whatever. But it's a fun game.
That's cool. So it's like kind of dynamic in a way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a turn based.
You know, I just
But
realized your shirt says sheets. You got a sheets shirt. I didn't even know they made such a thing.
dude, my so my sister was wearing like a Sheets
Story
shirt
time.
the other day, and I was like, "Yo, you got some Sheets apparel?" And Sheets, SHEETZ, the gas station eatery.
Yeah, if you aren't watching the episode and you're listening,
I
it
think
has one
Sheets
as
is a regional
sheet.
thing. I think it's like an East Coast. My wife's from LA. She's like, I didn't know you could eat at a gas station. That sounded
They don't
absolutely
even have
barbaric.
Wawas over there. Yeah,
I
we
don't
didn't
think
have any.
so.
When I lived in Reno, there was no sheet, but sheets weren't as big as they are now. So I don't
Sheets
know.
and Wawa, Royal
Royal
Farms. I think
Farms,
that's all like
yeah, the
East
chicken.
Coast
Royal
stuff.
Farms chicken, bro. Come on.
Yo, that's what I lived off of when I went to college in Baltimore. This is just it's a rofo on every corner there. Anyways, not that Sheets is sponsoring us or anything, but I will do a little plug is that she's like, yeah, Sheets sells apparel on like their online sheet store. I was like, what the
I had
all right,
no
that
idea.
sounds absurd. I'm gonna check it out. And they do. If you go I don't know if it's sheets.com or whatever, but if you Google it, it'll come up. And yeah, they have a whole uh like Amazon size of shirts, pants, hoodies, hats. And I looked at 2 shirts and I was like, this is kind of silly. Shirts are $7.50. And I was like, well, that's stupid. I usually shop at like Marshalls or TJ Maxx or something, but I was like, shirts aren't even that cheap there.
Right?
And I was like, fuck it, whatever. $15, 2 shirts. Yeah, they fit well, and it's
See, that sounds
as
like those cardboard shirts to me, though, that are just rough and
no, it's
hard. I
comfy.
hate those shirts. I
I was
gotta
able
have
to
these.
customize the color. Like I don't know what Sheets is doing with their apparel office, but department, but nah, keep on doing the good work
They're
there.
probably taking a loss on purpose, honestly, because they're such a large corporation. But anybody that buys the cheap shirt like this, it's just free promotion. I
It's
mean,
free
literally,
promotion, right?
you're
Yeah.
a walking fucking billboard right now.
Yep.
Not
Yep.
a bad
That may
thing. I'm just saying that's literally for them. That's like me. I mean, I'm wearing Nike. Doesn't matter what you buy. You're a walking billboard for fucking somebody.
yeah,
So why not
absolutely.
put your name all over it?
Yeah. So yeah, I
Take
don't
a loss. Actually, they
I don't
probably
know if I've
buy
ever
these by like the millions, so they probably aren't taking a loss. It probably cost them $3 or $4 to make each shirt. I'm thinking if I was making my own shirt, like we have our High Level
HLC shirt.
Chronicles shop and stuff. Since we're not buying in bulk like that, I know how much they cost us. So I say they're taking a loss. They probably aren't because they're probably buying massive amounts.
I mean, I've never seen a Sheets ad like on TV or the radio or anywhere. So maybe this is like a new thing. Maybe they didn't have that a couple years ago.
I see it on Facebook for hiring. I don't see an advertisement, but just hiring. Like that's all I ever
It's
see.
different though.
They pay
I mean,
pretty good.
they do. They pay well. I go to there's one like right by my work and I go there a lot and yeah, like hiring managers, like night managers, like 20 some bucks an hour for like starting and then I assume it goes up from there. But yeah.
I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to ask you a question. Let's talk about Severance because we finished it. Fine. Because we waited, but
All I
that
want to
show you
talk
got to
about.
have an IQ to watch that show. You got to have a little bit of a high IQ to watch that show and understand it because that show is so back and forth.
You just have to be very attentive because there's
Yeah.
so many Easter eggs, I would say. Because I think that the premise is very universal. Like you don't want to be at work, and I do enjoy sort of what I do, and it has to be like very hands on. But a lot of people are they would like I just would like to black out for 8 hours, assume that I did a very good job, everything was handled, and then you don't have, and then it's just all free time, for the duration of your consciousness. But then it's kind of like slavery for the innie that all they know is work.
So here's what have dubbed now that I think is, or what I should say, what I appreciate is at least what I'm hoping is that if you watch the first season of Severance, which came out a few years ago now, it was a long time,
2022.
and you watch this season of Severance, these are two completely different fucking seasons. like completely different.
Like
Like the first season was so like, oh, you get to work and this and this, and
word
this season
building,
is
an
like
entire
your
season of
wife's
world
not
building.
fucking dead. No, I don't care about spoilers. She's here. Like we got goats. We got this. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this whole season was wild, like wild. But I want to know what your thoughts are on Gemma. Like, what is going on with her? What do you think? She's not dead, obviously. She wasn't killed in a car
Right.
accident. But do you think I'm thinking I don't know. I don't know how they got her, but I'm thinking they took her because they knew she had trauma from. We're not again. Spoiler alert, because it's already been out. And it's been out for months now. By the time you're seeing it, it's so they had a miscarriage. I'm assuming it's the way it looked, right? Trauma incident, and so I think that Cure, this company Lumen, I think they're like trying to see if they can change memories and do everything, because it seems like what they've been doing with her is they realized she had trauma, they kidnapped her, did whatever they did with her, and now they're trying to mess with her mind, see if they can get her to forget and not show any emotion over that, because this last door, right, Cold Harbor, was putting together that bassinet that he couldn't, that he already got frustrated with, and she had no emotion. So I don't know. What do you thought? That's what I want to. What do you think is going on? I
I've
really
two
don't know. It's so weird. It's like there's so many things it could be. You know what I mean? I
right.
don't know.
Yeah, I appreciated the episodes that they did of like this is like Mark and Gemma's origin story or whatever, and then like Cobell's past. But what I think
I don't know,
and
man. I do got to say that Cobell episode, that was kind of a boring. I feel like that was too much of an episode for her. Like that was really just too. Unless she's coming to play a huge part upcoming, I feel like that was just there was no reason to dedicate an entire fucking episode to her.
I think if it's going to be clear later, my prediction is that Cobell is Mark's mom. Yeah, there is some sort of relation there, and I mean I could get into this for the next several hours, but there is a part in what it's either the last episode or the episode before the last where she's like, "I care for you," and she acts like a psycho on the set, and like maybe she's severed too, and there's some weird memory stuff with her. I don't know, but with
I mean, she lived beside him in the first season, kind
right,
of watching
kind of
over
watching
him. You know what I
over
mean?
like I don't, and we all just were like this is just a psycho boss that has control issues or something. But she didn't do that with the other severed employees. Is only Mark. So I don't know. That's a theory I have for the future. We'll
How do
see.
you get her mom? What would make anything to do with her being his mom? What would besides what you said? Like I'm watching it. What
So
nothing else
I
points to
mean, the
that. What
ages um line up. Like Patricia Arquette is 20 to 30 years older than Adam Scott. Um,
did he say
uh,
his parents? What did he say about his
they
parents?
don't
Because now
say
I'm trying
anything
to
about their
remember.
parents, and then they have Devin too, which Devin is the hard part. I'm trying to square with that because it's like, is she Devin's mother as well? Mark has a more traumatic past, losing his wife, losing his child.
Wouldn't his sister recognize her and say
I
because
mean,
she's
Mark
not have
doesn't.
any?
I think
No,
I
but
think that there was
she. What I'm saying is she's not implanted with that shit. She
right.
has nothing to do with it. So they can't turn it on and off. You know what I'm saying? Like for Mark and
I'm wondering if they didn't know
Mark
their
S,
mom.
they can turn it off.
So we know that
But I thought
that
she's
Cobell was
talked about
taken.
though. She's when she's comforted him though in the past, she has said like mom and dad this. She said that stuff. So, but they've never shown anything or told anything. So
I
I
could
don't
be
know.
completely
I mean, I get
wrong,
what you're saying. I get it's
but
a good. I
that's
like
my
it.
prediction. Yeah,
I like it. I'm just saying. I just don't know. I don't know. There's so many things it could be. Like I don't.
right.
But what I want to get at is they're moving pretty fast. That was my whole point with this. It's two completely different seasons. They're moving pretty fast. So I don't think the plan is to drag this out. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
it's been renewed for the third one. I think that this season was more of a Mark saving Gemma, and since at the end Mark doesn't leave with her, the next season is going to be Gemma trying to save
Yeah,
Mark.
that's what I'm thinking. That's
So
exactly what I'm
I think
thinking.
this is the story that they wanted to start with, but they're like, well, let's just build this whole world mainly on like the severed floor, but let's do that
So
with
you think
a
the
season.
way this Severance the story is supposed to be is this person has a wife and a family, but all of them they've kind of shown it with what's the big dude's name?
Dylan,
Dylan. They've shown it with him, but their innies are having relationships on their own, and is that going to encounter conflict with the outie So that's what you're saying. That's how this show is
Right.
supposed to
And
be.
I don't really know, how Dylan
But now
squared
they're
that
just
at the
adding
end.
some depth with Gemma to actually have this more emotional attachment to him,
Yeah.
and I
But
like it.
anyway, my two theories of Gemma is either one, this was her choice initially. She didn't read the fine print and she was like, I want to be severed. Mark is not going to understand. So maybe she intended to tell him, but then Lumen kind of took over with the fake death. And maybe this was to give him another trauma to be like, fuck, life is so just depressing for me right now. Why don't I get myself severed? And then he meets Miss Casey and they don't know each other. Just fucking slam that.
He said smack.
And or this was just some nefarious thing of Lumen where it's like, hey, we're just gonna fucking kidnap you and start doing these experiments. Now why they chose her and how Market's involved, that may have been intended or unintended, I'm not sure. I think that this was a voluntary or kidnapping situation because she seemed pretty just just very depressed at the end, right before the quote unquote car crash, which may or may not have happened. Maybe she was in the hospital and they like plucked her out from that, but I don't think so. I'm leaning towards that this was something that she wanted to do, but it just got out of hand and she didn't know that she'd be
So
kidnapped.
what is Kier?
Like the person.
Well, I mean, Kier. That's a city, right? That's where they're at.
Kiers, yeah, also a
But
town, which
then
they
it's
weren't
also a
gonna
person.
name, and then they now named the town Kier, which makes me like, how big is this cult following? Because you see so many different employees at Lumen in the city of Kier, but
Well,
they're
they
all
own the
not
entire city,
severed. Like
right?
they're
I
all
mean, it's
just kind of
all
in the background. They're all like on the upper floor doing, I don't know, pharmaceutical work. I assume that's what Lumen is. They, it's a cure for pain or something. Isn't that their slogan? So they're trying to cure pain by essentially separating memories and consciousnesses away from people, which is certainly it's an interesting premise.
because Kier Egan is the guy that found us. That's the initial Egan.
Right.
Now we know Helly is an Egan.
Right.
That was weird. That whole episode, I was confused until the end of that episode. Like, who was who? Like, I didn't understand that at first, but then
When
it clicked.
Irv held the head underwater.
No, I knew that, but I'm
They,
talking about even before that, the episode prior to that one, when she was acting as Heliar. Like, I didn't know that. I had no idea that was Helena Egan. You know what I'm saying? Like, had no clue until he tried to drown her. Like, that's the first time I was like, shit, that's
yeah. Well,
now I get it.
that was the debate in like the Severance community where it's like, is Heli R really Heli R? Is it Heli E? Is it Helena? But I think that was I mean that was a crazy twist because I was like, no, it's Heli R. I was on that team until I couldn't be on that team anymore, even though the evidence kept piling in my face that I was wrong. But I mean that was a huge thing too. And then it's like, well, what's going on with Helena? Like like clearly is like in love with Mark, or at
She
least
showed up at at the
yeah,
diner.
yeah.
Like what? Like yeah, she's like
It's a
stalking him now.
season of love triangles. There's Helena, Heliar, and Mark, and then there's Innie Dylan, Outie Dylan, and the wife, which to
Yeah,
me is the more interesting one. But
because Audi Mark S is in love with Gemma Mark S. Any Mark S is in love with Helly
Heliar, yeah.
R. But
Who's
Helena
Helena in
on
love
the
with?
Audi is in love with Mark S as an Audi. And it's it's a
Or
bit odd.
Innie, yeah, she'll. And I have a prediction that Helly's pregnant.
It's kind of that's kind of given. I think that they made that
With
a
all the
big old
babies
thing.
in the intro, I was like, there's got to be something,
Well, and I mean, they made sure that they said that they had sex, and that was a whole big story, for the stuff. So she's like, I want to feel it too. It was funny.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed Miss Wong. Like that was a
I
crazy
still don't
choice.
understand that. I don't understand the whole child thing yet.
So I don't think they explained it fully, but they did talk about the Wintertide scholarship that is for like it seems like a teenager, and Miss Bell was awarded it, and it looks like she's working towards that. And it's like, we're just going to put you in front of, people that functionally have been alive for 2 years or, however long. I guess hell, even shorter. So, and then like they question it, but it's never really explained. And I feel like that's just part of some of the like psychological warfare shit that goes on down there with the dance parties and the waffle and the trip to the hall of the perpetuity wing. Like the whole thing is just like, we're going to act like nothing's weird, which is like very cult like behavior when like everything is weird, but they don't know enough to be like, this is not how things work, because they don't know how things work. So
All they know is that level.
exactly. But I was pleased with how the season went. I think it was so weird. I think it was so interesting just conceptually. And I know a lot of people were bummed at the ending. They're like, what's he doing? He's so dumb. Why does he just go with his wife? Then we can end the show. Like, you
Well,
know,
that wouldn't end. We'd still need to know what
and
happened.
yeah. And they would just have a epilogue or whatever. But now he's stuck in there, and the dad of Helly was like, I don't really like my daughter, but I like this indie version. Yeah, she has Kier's fire and Mark. But then like now Drummond's dead, and Milchek is surrounded by a band, a goddamn marching band, and Dylan and Helly. Like he can't get through them all, and then, or I guess I just Dylan at this point of the band, but like, and now obviously Gemma is gonna be like, hey, they kidnapped me. They wouldn't, they forced me to, have different consciousnesses and
So you think we got at least another 3 seasons of this?
seasons.
I'm going to say, so this will be the next season would be Gemma trying to save him, right? And that's going to end on
Assuming, yeah,
a probably a cliffhanger of some type, like always. And then the season after that and the following season will be
we're taking down Lumen,
right, that whole thing. Because you could rush it and do it in 2 seasons, but
Do you think Milchek's going to change sides?
I don't know.
I can't tell. I think that just the weird racial stuff that they would put in, like making Kier as a black guy, that obviously made him uncomfortable, and then he tried to like talk with the other black girl, like, hey, is this a little weird, or but like also have to couch it in a way that
And who's the board?
well, so man, I don't know. Is it all the Egans in like a consciousness? Is it Drummond? Is it Helly? Is there
I
no
don't
board?
know.
Is it just, I don't remember the girl's name?
Is it her? Like
Uh
she the board?
she's
She's the
just
only
the
one that
board,
talks
and
to him,
she's just fucking around with
right? Like, see, I
the
even think
board
they
says
could
it's
build on
okay.
that.
Yeah.
I think they could build on her, even her character outside of Lumen. Like they could run into her
I
and
have so
stuff,
many
do something with
questions.
it. Like there's all kinds of stuff they could do with it. It's a good show.
If you tell your boss to eat shit, to me, you're done with the playing around. But it still seemed like Milchek or Milkshake was down to get out of that bathroom and have people feel his wrath. But now Huang's gone, Drummond's gone, Helly's stuck on the. It seems like a lot of the higher up people are either are not available, and it's just going to be him. So maybe he doesn't switch sides, but he rises up. So, and then becomes like the actual antagonist. I don't know, because I don't know if I see him that way right now. I just see him as like a kind of sad guy who's
Maybe
like
he's
in
the
and over
board.
his head. Well, he's had to respond to it, unless
Yeah,
it's all like
a
him and
play. Yeah, I mean, you never
yeah.
know.
But I don't know. I think that I was getting a little thrown off this season. I was like, every fucking season, like episode has me with more questions than answers. Now, the last episode did answer a lot of questions, but like not everything. Why are all the cars from like the 1980s and
Whole
computers?
thing set old. Yeah, it's definitely
Like,
all set.
is that just? I mean, and I feel like there's some things they're just never going to address. It's like, oh no, it's just part of the world. But like, I don't know. I just it's the whole vibe of the show is 10 out of 10
Mysterious.
and important. The work is mysterious and important, Chris.
Very important. You got to find those numbers, which now we know
Right,
are
right. Which
feelings.
that was so crazy. They were just building consciousnesses over here for various levels of traumatic incidents.
And they needed Mark to do it for her because he's the one that's connected to her.
Right.
And
So
she can fit in. So the other ones aren't even really doing anything.
what the hell were they doing? There were blank doors for the other, like down in that hallway that Gemma was in. So I'm wondering if
there were a lot of doors in that hallway.
If she's not the only one that was down there, I don't know.
Like I said, more questions.
Yeah, like why wasn't Dylan's wife taken? Like why why wouldn't they have switched places? There's something specific about Mark and Gemma that they were just like, today is the most important day in human history or whatever Kier was saying.
Yep.
But I don't know. I think they're going to try to do a lot more with the consciousness of Kier and get more into that next season. Which hopefully, we had a writer strike, we had a SAG strike in between the filming of these two seasons, so you had a 3-year gap there. Hopefully, we won't get a 3-year gap for the next season.
Right. Hopefully not. Well, they said it wouldn't be as long. They already said that. I saw that somewhere.
I think writing has already started or starting soon. Which to me, I'm like, are they just writing like the specific dialogue, or are they like, let's figure out what happens next? Like, I feel like they have a plan, or at least a rough outline at the very least. Right, but that's, like I said, I could talk about that for a while.
Any big plans?
Not really. I think I'm maybe going back down to Wintergreen in like Southern Virginia for a few days. But I do enjoy. I think we should have a series of like wake and bakes because this is our second one. Maybe every like, I don't know, 2 months or something. We just change it up because I like coming in here. It's like, all right, I don't have any notes. I don't know what's going to go on, and we'll just figure it out. And I think that's a nice change from yeah. What are you talking about?
You had notes or you wouldn't be able to read the leveled up segment. I gotcha.
Okay, yes. There's a few things that are written down, but yeah, no, just kind of freestyling it, having a different feel of the episode.
Yep. I have no idea one.
Yeah. I
going to Philly for the first time in September. Yeah, that goes.
What are you doing there?
Going to a concert.
Nice. Yeah, Philly's it's an interesting town.
Have to have a cheesesteak, I guess.
But yeah, gotta check out Gino's, man.
What's the other one? Pat's.
Pat's, yeah.
Pat's the original.
Maybe did I go to Pat's? I definitely last time I was in Philly that I drove up there. I think I went to Gino's and I was like, damn, this is it's high tier American
What's the difference?
cuisine.
What do they do something different up there than they do down here?
I think how to do it like the real way, quote unquote, is like spray cheese, canned cheese or
Cheese
something.
whiz?
Cheese whiz, yeah. Yep. That's which I'm not a big fan of the entire state of Pennsylvania, but that just seems very on brand for them. Of like, we're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, what in
cheese
Altoona
whiz.
they got that weird pizza. You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember? You know what I'm talking
Also,
about?
it's just a weird name. I mean, I'm familiar with Altoona, but again, it's just that's also a weird name for a place.
Yeah, Altoona style pizza is
probably gonna hate it.
Sicilian pizza dough, tomato sauce.
Okay.
And they put a slice of salami and top it with American cheese. Like disgusting, bro.
That sounds awful. I don't know what Sicilian dough is. Like that kind of sounds good, unless that's like just a fancy
like the
name.
thicker crust, like the thicker, But yeah, no thanks.
And then like when they say American cheese, like
like literally
symbol.
a slice. Yep, that's exactly what goes on top of it.
Nope, that's not even real cheese. That's nope.
But neither is Cheese Whiz. Look, that must be the PA thing. They don't.
I'm not saying that I'm jazzed that it's that's what they use, but that's just what is said. But I guess maybe Pennsylvania has a thing against real cheese. Like a little plastic in it,
They don't like their PA's a bum state.
I'm sorry if you're listening from Pennsylvania, but that's just my feeling.
I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, so I can't say much.
Hey, yeah, Philly got to win the Super Bowl, so good for them.
Fuck Philly. I don't care about Philly. Steelers, baby. All right.
Who's going to be your quarterback, man?
Fuck, I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers says he don't want to come.
He don't want to come because he ain't go get that $50 million he wants. Rooney said, I ain't giving it to you. You ain't worth it.
Yeah. All right,
Find
Mason Rudolph, baby. 2025. Here we go. Hope he doesn't get hit with his own helmet again.
2030. That's gonna be our year.
Quite a prediction. Raina's got to get one in the next like 3 years. Like, so frustrating, and I just expect it now. All right, man. You ready to wrap up?
Yep. You got any final words?
Yeah, like I said, I think maybe we'll look into having this as a every once in a while shake things up.
We said that last
So.
time, and then
Oh, did I?
I said we did. We said the
Oh, we did?
exact same
Yeah.
thing at the end of the last episode. I'm pretty sure we go in this one the exact same way, like just saying the same thing.
The last time we did it was like 10 months ago. Every 10 months, yearly or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, that's going to wrap it up for today's sesh. We hope you enjoyed spending some time with us this morning as we waked and baked. But now it's time to get the day started for real. As always, we want to hear from you. What's your wake and bake routine? What strains, games, shows? What do you rock with in the morning? Hit us up, highlevelchronicles.com, HLC Podcast 420 on all your favorite social media. Keep the vibes going. Keep the bowls packed. Till next time, stay leveled up. We are out.
Thanks for listening to High Level Chronicles.